Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play the new season before I got to go to work today, but I can at least go over the patch notes and hopefully throw them into a video before I got to go to work today. So yeah, let's take a look at Season 1 Overwatch patch notes. Yeah! You can't see me, but I'm twisting my nipples. All right, let's do this. Season 1 Rise of Talon patch notes. Conquest events, 5-week-long event. Each week you can choose your faction, Overwatch or Talon. Once you select your faction, you can compete faction-specific challenges to unlock rewards of the weekly pass. Once you unlock the whole pass, you can either change factions or complete that pass as well, earning those faction-specific rewards as a double agent, or choose to stay loyal to your initial faction and complete the prestige pass to unlock loot boxes. I think I'm going to end up choosing Talon just because lore-wise, I like Talon as like an individual organization. I think Talon is really fucking cool. So, and I also have a little bit of edgy emo still in me from, 16 years ago when I was a teenager. So anyway, at the end of each week, completed passes for each faction will be tallied up around the world to establish a global winner. Each completed pass will help your faction succeed. You'll get a special phase reward at the end of each week, depending on which faction was victorious. At the end of the 5-week event, each faction's overall progress will be summed up and a global winner will be declared. Look out for awesome Overwatch Talon-themed Echo skin recolor and a nice in-game surprise to thank you for fighting the global conflict. Rewards you can earn over the course of the event. Rewards you can earn over the course of... They typed that twice. Okay. 75 base loot boxes, 12 epic loot boxes, 7 legendary loot boxes, 9 voice lines, 31 player icons, title sprays, and name cards, 2 weapon charms, 1 of 2 faction-themed legendary echo skins, and exclusive legendary titles, and a secret hidden one. That's interesting. Year of the Horse, February 13th through March 2nd. Happy Lunar New Year. We're changing it up a bit this year by bringing back a fan favorite mode, Roadhog's Catch a Mari with the New Year twist. Collect adorable Lunar Patchy, eliminating your opponents to earn Lunar New Year cosmetics. Ooh, fun. General updates, comms, ping updates. The new functionality for praise is intended to be a quick way to celebrate a team kill or an incredible shot without without needing to use voice chat. We won't judge you if you use this sarcastically too, like when your teammate fat fingers their ult and spawn. There is going to be so much BM from this. Like, I like the idea of a praise communication, bro, but there's going to be so much BM for this. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. I can already see people getting fucking tilted off the side of the planet and just spamming the praise emote. It's going to be insane. Or praise voice line. Where did I stop off? Sorry. We didn't want to change your comms wheel customizations when we added praise, so instead of replacing something on the wheel that you might have added years ago, we made the comms wheel function almost identically to the ping wheel. Keep in mind that you can revert the comms wheel to its original functionality by changing a single setting. Alongside our commitment to expanding the game's story, our narrative and the sound team have been working hard to record more great voice lines that let you express your personality through our heroes. We'll continue to expand your communication options by adding contextual lines over time. Praise added as a new default function. Tapping the comms wheel button now tells your allies how awesome they are with the praise voice lines that are unique to each hero. By default, the comms button functionality now mimics the functionality of the ping button, meaning there is a very short delay between the pressing the button and the wheel appearing. This is a new functionality, can be disabled. The short delay, yada yada yada. This is all kind of, I don't really care. New contextual voice lines and functionality. Heroes now emit voice lines that suggest setup locations to their team when players use neutral pings during the setup phase while defending in attack and defend mode. I like that. That's a really good change. I like the attention to trying to update the ping system. One of the big things is that I'm one of those people. I really don't like going in the voice chat a lot of times because people are just dickheads and nobody likes being flamed, and sometimes you communicate and nobody listens to what you're saying, so then you just get more tilted and it can be very frustrating. So the ping system is a really great alternative to a voice chat. I like that. Keep it up. Heroes now have more specific internal monologue voice lines for when they request healing, and no supports are available to help. Heroes on defense in Escort and Hybrid are now more likely to notice when a payload is being pushed by a sneaky player and call out with a voice line. That is insanely good change. Backcapping clips are going to be even more rare now, but that is a pretty cool change. I do like that. Heroes will now automatically call out their team with a voice line when they detect an invisible hero nearby. Fuck yeah, let's go. Fuck you, Sombra. This uses the same cooldown and tuning as when heroes detect Widowmaker aiming at them and warn their allies with the sniper voice lines. Heroes can aim at an ally Jetpack Cat and ping her to request pickup at their location with a voice line. That's really cool. The On My Way comms now prints an ETA in seconds in chat when aiming at an allied hero based on the speaker's speed. Pretty cool. Bug fixes. The ping system spam protection now works in the waiting for players phase. Supports no longer hear the healing ping sound effect when another support. Thanking a support for the not so thankless challenge should now more reliably count for the challenge completion. Okay. General update and advanced info panel added all 5 new heroes. All cleanses in advanced info panel have been separated between lesser cleanses, which are more common, and greater cleanses, which are more rare and can cleanse stuns. The definition of these keywords have been updated. Okay, cool. So basically, if you are able to cleanse everything but stuns, it'll be listed as a lesser cleanse. And if you're able to cleanse stuns, it'll be listed as a greater cleanse when you look at the hero info screen inside of the F1 slot. That's good. That's good. More reliable information. Very good. Separating those, absolutely amazing for helping new players. The thing about Overwatch is that it's a very deep and complex game. There's a lot of heroes, and new players are going to need a lot of help looking at all of the different stuff heroes can do, so I'm all for that. Aura, an energy ability that gains resource whenever dealing damage or healing. Okay. Example, Mitsuki's Remedy Aura. Wouldn't Aura just why would you? Aura should refer to like a zone, like Brigitte's Inspire. I mean, Mizuki's Healing and Lucio's Aura. Why not refer, or unless they are referring to that and they just worded it weird? I don't know. I think if you're going to refer to something as an aura, it should be the circle, not specifically an ability. Because like, then are you calling Zarya's like passive aura? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know if I like that. Break removes tether effects. Example, Jetpack Cat's Catnapper, Lifeweaver's Life Grip, Reinhardt's Charge, Roadhog's Chain Hook. Okay. So if you get, if you're tethered by Mauga or Mizuki's new root ability, then those are abilities that can untrap you. Also, Junkrat Trap. I was stupid for a second. Displace prevents a hero from taking actions while moving them, interrupts channeled abilities, and is not cleansable. So Rocket Punch, Rein Charge, Roadhog Chain Hook. Okay. Pretty easy to understand. Heat ceases to function when the heat gauge is full, cools off automatically when not firing. So Emery's Siphon Blaster and Orissa's Augmented Fusion Driver. That's fine. Immobilize removes control of hero movement. So Downpour, Soundwave, Pile Driver, Graviton Surge. Okay, this is important. It's important to recognize the difference between immobilize and displacing, because immobilize, you can still shoot and use abilities, while displacing you can't do anything. Tether attaches a hero to a location or within a radius. So Lifeline, Catnapper, Cage Fight, Binding Chain. So this is rooting. Rooting is a MOBA term. It just basically means you're stuck in that spot. Now what's the difference between immobilizing and tethering? Or within a radius. Okay, so... Oh, so you can still move when Mizuki binds you. But you... Okay, so a Junkrat Trap would be immobilizing and a Mauga Cage would be tethering. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's fine. While almost all recent development on this feature was focused on providing accurate information about the new heroes, our efforts to help explain the game's more nuanced mechanics have continued here with the addition of new keywords. If you haven't used this system much, keep in mind that all of the keyword definitions can be viewed in a match or in the practice range when hovering over an ability. This is great. I love information. I'm so glad they added that while I've been gone. General updates. Updated look and feel. The revamped UI focuses on your friends and favorite heroes more than ever. Showcase your best skins and invite friends with the social panel. I have seen the new UI on like playtests and stuff. I'm not really a big fan of it. I cannot stand this fucking all the menu options at the top kind of UI design. I feel it's very, very frustrating. The old UI was just simply fine. I don't know why we had to change it, but whatever. Notification hub, we've added notifications, a new in-game screen that keeps all important notifications in one place. You'll find endorsement rewards, thank you for reporting, important news, and other key updates whenever you want to check them. No more pop-up overload. This is the first step toward a cleaner, more streamlined login experience. I'm not mad at that. I still think that there should be a pop-up for reporting, like thank you for reportings, because this should be a pop-up, this specifically, because it lets players know that reporting does actually do something, and we want people to feel like that. Loot box updates, a selection of cosmetics from seasons 15 through 20 have been added to loot boxes. Player titles are now a range of rarities from common to legendary. Okay, interesting. Option updates, added an option to adjust the FOV on Xbox, PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro. Added options to adjust the volume of the lobby, SFX, and music. Controller options have been separated into 3 categories in order to make it easier to find. Controller, dead zone, and aim assist. I'm not a controller player, so you guys let me know. I haven't used a controller for shooters since 2019, so it's been a long time. Core game updates. Clash has been removed from quick play. As we move into 2026, the team is carefully looking at what maps and modes provide players with the best long-term experience. We want to lean into content that players engage with the most while providing a high level of gameplay variety. After all, variety in our maps and modes is the core pillar of a design team, and that will never change. It is also important for the variety we offer resonates with our players. Unfortunately, even after some adjustments, Clash hasn't been hitting the mark. We love the maps that we made for Clash. They will remain in Stadium, and we still may see them return in the future. We have more amazing new maps lined up for next year, and our reworks will continue and get bigger. Redesigns that completely change how certain areas of the maps play are coming soon, and as we look into the future of our game, we will continue to curate our map roster in the ways that feel the best experience. We look forward to sharing more news. I would have literally, maybe I'm in the minority here, but keep Clash, remove push. I hate push from the bottom of my heart. If you guys want a video on that, I would be more than happy to provide you with one. I cannot fucking stand push. I think it's legitimately one of the worst objective. It is the worst objective type in this entire game. But you know, you can't just make a change just for me. As cool as that would be, I'm not flats. I'm just kidding. No, they've never made a change just for flats before somebody flames me in the fucking comments, bro. Map updates, Gibraltar narrative updates. Now at the helm of Talon, Vendetta has begun her reign with a bang, laying siege to Watchpoint Gibraltar with a vengeance. She will leave no one to stand in her way of her new empire. Vendetta's attack has caused severe damage to Watchpoint. Some layout tweaks have been made throughout map area 1. So First Point Gibraltar is getting changed. A new entrance on the left side from attacker's POV building has been added. Okay, so on the left, are you talking about on the left from, like, you're looking out of spawn or looking into spawn? Because if you're looking into spawn, that's going to be that big hill where the tower stands. So you can go out of spawn into that tower. That's pretty sick. That's a really, really good place to leave spawn. But if you're inside of spawn, the left already has an exit. So did they change that exit to provide more cover? I'm gonna guess it says from attacker's POV. So that tells me the left in terms of looking from spawn outward, which I don't know about that. The bridge is destroyed. Interesting. You never really held the bridge that often. Sometimes a dive tank would hold up there, like Winston or Diva, but most of the time you held the back building when you look directly straight out of spawn. So the bridge actually opens up sight lines to that top area. So that's very interesting. A large health pack position in the lower choke has been adjusted. I'm interested to see where they put that. Server room opening has been widened. What is the server room? Is that the... on First Point where the big window is as you're turning the corner underneath the cave area? That's interesting. Some cover adjustments have been made to the high ground surrounding First Point. That's going to make defending Gibraltar really strong. If they've added more cover to high ground, that's going to make a defense really, really strong. Second point, new ramps have been added to allow easier access to the high ground. That's not a bad thing. The dropship has been angled and the health pack inside of it has been moved to ground level to stop defenders from health pack camping. That is, oh my God, Okay, so they strengthened defense on first point and weakened it on second point. Third point, a new ramp has been added to allow easy access to the high ground on the far right side from the attacker's POV, okay? The bridge has been destroyed, okay? Small rubble piles have been added in a few areas to smooth out the movement areas. So they increased the defense potential of first point, and then they increased the attack potential of second and third point. That is very fascinating. I am interested to see how that plays now, because historically, Gibraltar has been a really defense-sided map. There's been so many places that you could hold high ground and just like pepper the enemies. And so it's it's going to be very interesting to see how that changes stuff in the higher ranks and in pro play. I am very interested to see how Gibraltar shifts there. Rialto and Colosseo with Vendetta in charge of Talon. Our Italy maps have had some changes. Banners signifying the glory of La Lupa's new empire has been raised across the city in various neighborhoods, and a throne fitting her strength has been raised in Rialto. That's cool. Just some cosmetic changes. I'm not mad at that. Competitive play updates. Rank reset with 5 new heroes joining the fray, alongside several new perks and balance changes for existing heroes. The soft reset is designed to put players on an even playing field and give them a chance to climb in the chaotic new environment while everyone's learning together. I don't know how many times we have to go over this, Blizzard, but just because there's new stuff doesn't mean the fundamentals of the game have changed. It's the bronze players are still going to be bronze players. The GM players are still going to be GM players. Adding new heroes doesn't change enough to justify a rank reset. Not that I hate rank resets, I just need y'all to understand that your fundamentals don't go anywhere just because you're learning a new hero. All ranks in role queue and open queue in competitive play have been reset to unranked, and all players will need to complete their respective 10 placement matches for each role. I look forward to placing in mid gold again. Hero skill ratings have also been soft reset. I've been back for about 2 weeks now. I still have not figured out the point of the hero skill ratings. I don't know what those are for, but okay. This rank reset did not change the rank distribution, so players can expect to see a similar number of players in each rank. Thank you, phone. Once everyone is calibrated again. Crimson rewards. Crimson Wolf replaces Galactic as this year's competitive weapon variant and will be available to be unlocked with competitive points after the first 2 weeks of the season. Galactic weapon variants join Gold and Jade as legacy rewards. I still think they need to stop doing this shit. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, get rid of the legacy credit crap, put us back in just all competitive points in one pool. It greatly frustrates me that they ever made that change. It was a dumb change. I genuinely don't give a shit if somebody had 50,000 competitive point credits saved up and they were able to just buy all of the competitive weapons with each new one released. Like, nobody actually gave a shit. This was dumb. But whatever. Achieving Diamond or above in Roll Queue or Open Queue will unlock Doomfist's Crimson Wolf skin, which is a full skin for Doom, which looks absolutely sick. I wonder if Crimson Wolf is like the new name of his new organization, because we all know Doom's coming back. He lost that fight on purpose, 100%. Anyway, all competitive points earned in the 2025 year will be converted into legacy points. Top 500 Challenger updates. We heard your feedback about the name change, and we agree Top 500 was too iconic to abandon, so we've combined the old and new names. Sort by rank. The Top 500 Challenger leaderboards can now be sorted by rank. Rewards are awarded based on Challenger score. Only players with enough Challenger score to be on the leaderboard are sorted by rank. Rule changes. Challenger score is no longer awarded based on the highest ranked player in the match. Challenger score is now... I don't know if any of this matters to me, or like most of the player base. I guess I'll read it anyway for any challengers who might be watching this video. Challenger score is now always awarded based on your rank. Diamond removed from top 500 Challenger eligibility. That's good. Why was it ever eligible for top 500? The challenge required for top 500 has been swapped from seasoned competitor to adept competitor. Challenger score deduction on loss increased from 33 to 40%. Player icons, I'm not reading the dev comments. I genuinely don't give a shit. Player icons return as a reward. New icons will be available for each rank reset, meaning that a new icon becomes available to earn every 3 seasons. Placing in top 500 challenger during the Rise of Talon season 1, 2, or 3 will grant conquest. Social links update. We've been working to expand the tech that allows our community team to add social links to prominent players to the leaderboard. Updates in season 21 should allow for considerably more players to have their social links added to this feature. You mean season 1? You call it season 21. Hello? Blizzard? Blizzard! Blizzard! I found a typo! Blizzard! Okay. We've discovered that some older Battle.net accounts without a birthday set are not able to view social links. This feature has been designed for players that are 18 plus, but the lack of birth date is currently preventing. We continue to investigate, yada, yada, yada. Challenger score payout, yada, yada, yada. Don't care. Bug fixes. Fix the friends leaderboard being organized randomly. Why was that ever a thing? Hero updates. General. All heroes can now see allied health states through walls. Previously, only support heroes could. Fucking finally. I've only been asking for this since 2017, bro. Like, as a tank player, I have been begging for the ability to see my allies' health states, dog. So I can fucking go like, oh my god, bro, this dude's critical. Let me go help this guy. Like, fucking hell. Roster updates. We've got Dominia, Anron, Emery, Jetpack Cat, and Mizuki all added to the roster. I can't wait to play Dominia and Mizuki. Jetpack Cat looks like a lot of shenanigans, so I got that. Anron doesn't really seem anything in my play style. Emery doesn't really seem anything in my play style, so. Console aim assist, added a legacy option, previous aim assist strength curve, the previous 4% auto change aim applied earlier this season for select heroes has now been extended to all hit scan heroes, does not apply when using legacy aim assist. Okay, hero update, sub rolls, tank roll passive, reduced ultimate charge is granted from healing and damaging received, ultimate generation reduction 40%. That is huge. Did they change that? Is that new? Didn't it used to be 30? You get 40% less ult charge from healing and damaging tanks. That is insane. Base health increased in roll queue game modes to 150. Oh, okay. Yo, I'm down. Knockback resistance and critical damage resistance removed from the full roll passive, and that's because they're adding sub rolls, which I guess they'll explain in a moment. Damage roll passive removed. The following effects that were previously granted by the damage roll passive is now baseline for all heroes. In combat, healing reduction on damage 30%, reduce effectiveness against tanks 50%, or 15%. So basically, everybody in the roster now can make it to where you receive 30% less healing while you're being shot, and on tanks it's 15% less healing. I like this change because I have said for quite a while now that if your DPS are not actively hitting something that you're hitting, that thing doesn't die. It's very difficult to kill something when it's being pocketed if you were a tank or a support. So like I play a lot of Ball, a lot of Doom, and I would constantly watch 1 HP targets get healed instantly to full before I could confirm the kill on them, all because I wasn't able to reduce the insane amount of healing they were getting. So I think this is going to heavily strengthen heroes like Winston, Diva, Ball, even Doomfist. You're just going to be able to dive targets more effectively now, which is fantastic. Can't wait for that. Support roll passive removed. Global regeneration after 6 seconds remains unchanged. The role passive system has undergone a significant revision, introducing multiple categorized passives within each role. Heroes are now assigned to a subcategory within their role, granting them a new passive that is more closely aligned with their intended playstyle. This approach aims to enhance gameplay depth and role identity for each hero. Looking ahead, we will closely monitor the effectiveness of this new system. Our ongoing plan includes evaluating its impact and making future adjustments as needed. This can involve balancing individual sub-roles, reassigning heroes to different sub-roles, or even introducing entirely new sub-roles to better support the evolving needs of the game. I absolutely love this. This is phenomenal, fantastic change, because at the end of the day, you cannot just generalize all the tanks, all the DPS, all the supports. Giving them sub-roles and being able to move those heroes around is incredibly strong for balancing, and it's also going to open up a lot more complexity in the game, which has always been one of my favorite things about Overwatch, so I am down for it. So let's take a look Tank sub-roles Initiator, we've got Diva, Doomfist, Winton, and Wrecking Ball. So these are your dive tanks. Staying airborne lightly heals you. Airborne time 0.8 seconds. You get 75. So do you get 75 health over the course of a second per 8 seconds? Am I making sense? So like if I leap into the air with Winton and I stay in the air for say 2 seconds, am I going to get 150 HP? Because if so, that's fucking crazy. And that's insane, dude. My dive tank main ass is so happy. Holy fuck, bro. That's going to be crazy. Bruisers. So these are heroes that want to get up close and personal. So we got Mauga, Orisa, Roadhog, and Zarya. That is fairly accurate. Reduces the critical damage received while at critical health and gain movement speed. Critical damage reduction. You take 25% less damage, and when you are at critical health, which I believe is below 15%, you move 20% faster. That is really good. Stalwart. These are heroes that want to be anchor points. So we've got Dominia, Hazard, Junker Queen, Ramattra, Reinhardt, Sigma. That reduces the knockback and slows receive. So, fucking god phone. So, knockback resistance. You get knocked back 40% less, and you're slowed 40% less. That is insane. You know what? This isn't just anchor point tanks though. Dominia, Sigma, and Reinhardt are anchor point tanks. Basically, these are tanks that really want to stay where they're at and bring it. Well, I guess Reinhardt is not that way, but because these were Junker Queen, Ramattra, Reinhardt were all considered brawl tanks, and Hazard was considered a dive tank. So this is interesting. I mean, all of these heroes needed this, right? Because Hazard, Junker Queen, and Rein all want to get, or even Ramattra in a lot of cases, want to get in your face. And so they also need to be able to get back away. So that's really good. And then Dominia and Sigma being anchor tanks, having the ability to hold down areas very well. You can't displace them. So yeah, no, this is good. I like all of these choices. I think Hazard probably could have went in the Initiator role. I don't think Hazard needed to be here, but that's just my opinion. Damage sub-roles specialists. Heroes Bastion, Emery, Junkrat, Maze, Soldier 76, Symmetra, and Torbjorn. Whenever you eliminate an enemy, it increases your reload speed by 50% for 3 seconds. That's really good. All of these heroes could use that. Recon, Pharah, Freya, Echo, and Sombra. Damaging enemies below half health reveals them through walls. This is really good. Each of these heroes needs to be able to see where the enemy is so they could confirm the kill. Not bad at all. Flanker, is her name Onron? I'm gonna say Onron. Genji, Reaper, Tracer, Vendetta, and Venture get an additional 75 healing from health packs. This is all really good. Basically, these characters want to get in, do some damage, probably get in a limb, get out, grab a health pack, go back in. It makes sense for all of these heroes. Not mad at that. I think Sombra probably could have had the flanker. I think they just put Sombra in Recon because of this, but also Sombra has the ability to quickly close the gap on these heroes without being detected. So Sombra can go in Recon or Flanker. I think both roles fit her very well. Sharpshooter, Ashe, Cassidy, Hanzo, Sojourn, and Widowmaker. Critical hits reduce movement ability cooldowns by 0.75% of the damage dealt. This makes sense. Every one of these heroes needs their movement abilities to get out of trouble whenever they get dove. So being able to have those abilities up more, right? Like basically what normally happens is a Widowmaker gets a headshot off, she kills somebody, the Winton goes, oh shit, the Widowmaker's up there, and then he dives. And if she already used her hook right before, now she has her hook back, she can get away. Perfect. Honestly, all of these make sense. Support sub-roles, Tactician, Heroes, Ana, Baptiste, Jetpack Cat, Lucio, Zenyatta. Ultimate charge is retained after using your ultimate ability. Bonus ultimate charge cap 25%. Reduced ultimate charge gain rate negative 25% while above 100%. So basically what this means is that you get your ult. So with Ana, you get Nano, and then you can build up to 25% additional charge when you use your Nano, because you need to save it for the opportune time. When you use your Nano, you get 25% ultimate charge back, which is really fucking good. This is going to greatly increase the power of all of these heroes insanely well. Insane. It's I think Tactician might be the best sub role. Medic, Kiriko, Lifeweaver, Mercy, Moira. Healing allies with your weapon also heals you. Self-healing, 25% of healing dealt. And reduce ultimate charge gain rate, negative 25% while above 100%. What? I think they copy-pasted this when they weren't supposed to. This second one means nothing. It's supposed to just be up here. Okay. So self-healing, Kiriko's gonna be fucking so hard to kill now. Like, I mean, she was already a pain in the ass with her 17 get out of jail free cards, but now she can, like, as she's being dove, she can healing Afuda her teammates and stay alive for as long as possible, and then she just TPs to that teammate she's been healing, and then she instantly Suzu's the ground. Oh, Kiriko continues to be the biggest pain in the ass in this fucking roster, dude. That's so cool. Anyway, Lifeweaver needed that. Mercy continues to be a big, gigantic moth pain in the ass. Moira, fine, I guess. Survivor, heroes, Brigitte, Iliari, Juno, Mizuki, and Wu Yang. Wu Yang is my support main, so I'm interested for this. Using movement ability activates passive health regeneration. I love that. I love that. As Wu Yang, you're very susceptible to getting dove. Even if you get dove and then you're like, no, and you press your button and you try to shift out, you just get absolutely fucking dog walked on, and that feels really bad. So being able to heal a little bit after you get dove, I'm good. All right, hero balance changes. Let's take a look here. Tank, we got Diva. Diva's base health is reduced from 375 to 325, which is going to reduce her total health from 700 to 650. I agree with this. Diva is insane. Diva is probably one of the best tanks, if not the best tank in the game. She's got insane damage output. She's got insane survivability. She's got insane mobility. She's just very, very strong, very powerful. And now she's got that passive that heals her while she's airborne. So I'm glad that they didn't reduce the armor. I'm glad they reduced the base health, keeping the armor the same, which doesn't make her feel really bad, but lowering that HP pool is very good for her. It makes a lot of sense. Mauga, ammo generation now grants 150 ammo instantly instead of over time. That's one of his minor perks. I never use that one. I always use the critical one, builds bonus health. I don't know anybody who uses the ammo generation, and I don't know if this is going to be the change that makes them choose that. Oh, sorry, this is minor perk. So I always use the doing a critical hit or igniting an enemy creates overhealth. I don't know if this change is going to make people pick this perk. As far as I'm concerned, igniting an enemy making bonus health is better because it gives you so much more survivability. And usually when you're charging out, not in. So I don't know how much this actually matters. I think you're still picking the perk that heals you for 50 overhealth after you ignite somebody. Orisa, protective barrier, major perk, cooldown increase from 8 to 10 seconds. Who was picking protective barrier? I guess. I don't know. Oh, it's 6v6. Okay, so they're trying to stop double shield. Never mind. You probably were picking protective barrier at 6v6. They fixed the animation issues while charging the javelin. That's cool. Reinhardt, they removed the recharge, which is where you would use your pen and you would regenerate barrier health. Nobody gave a fuck about that. And now while you're using your barrier field, passive health regeneration triggers 75% sooner. This is a must pick for Rein. This is going to be absolutely insane. We all win. I love it. Thank you. Roadhog, reduced consistency on Roadhog's chain hook one shot has lowered his overall effectiveness compared to other tanks. Yeah, no shit. Increasing take a breather's duration and pulled pork's overhealth improves his survivability and supports more aggressive play. I don't understand why they removed Pigpen. It drives me insane that they did this whole big rework on Roadhog just to fucking revert the motherfucker, dude. All right, so take a breather in 5v5. The resource maximum duration is increased from 2.5 to 3 seconds. So he's got more health that he can take a breather from. of course, that's going to help him. And then overhealth maximum increase from 250 to 300. So he can just heal more and more and more. And he can always be what he's always been, which is just this big ult battery with a lot of HP that occasionally snatches a squishy and instantly deletes them. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Sigma, experimental barrier health reduced from 700 to 650. This is going to be extremely effective at reducing Sigma's uptime. Sigma, in my opinion, is right up there with D.Va as being one of the most powerful tanks in the game. Top 3 easily, probably top 2, fighting for that top space with D.Va because he is so effective at staying where he wants to stay and then moving forward slowly by cycling barrier, suck, barrier, 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 suck again, barrier, barrier, and he can just keep doing that. So decreasing the shield health on his barrier, I understand. In terms of his minor perk, they've also reduced the barrier health conversion rate from 50 to 40%. This was a must-pick perk for me. I never did the suck reduces cooldown on accretion thing. I always pick the one that regenerates barrier because, again, Sigma is just a really good anchor point. So honestly, these nerfs are kind of deserved because Sigma was kind of ridiculous. I play Sigma in gold, and when I'm on the top of my game and I'm actually playing smart and not just turning my brain off like a dumbass, it's impossible for them to win. Gold players do not know how to deal with Sigma. It's very difficult for them to win. They don't know how to deal with it. And yeah. Winton! They removed the barrier toss perk. Thank fucking God. That was so worthless. No one ever picked barrier toss. It was useless. And instead, they gave him, and I really like this, Winston gains 10% movement speed for each enemy damaged by his primary fire up to 30%. So this allows you to dive into like an Ana or even a Kiri or a Wu Yang or something, and you're damaging them, and they're like, no, I gotta get away. And they start running, and you're like, no, you're gonna get back here, bitch. You just chase them down, bro. I love it. I love this perk so much. It's gonna be the one that I pick every time I play Winton. It's so fucking fun, dude. I love it. Wrecking Ball, they removed Pack Rat, which kind of makes me sad. I liked Pack Rat. I preferred it over the roll one that deals more damage to tanks. But at the end of the day, I understand why they did it. I think his name was Scott. He did an interview with Spylo and CarQ, and he said that because they have that new sub-roll passive for DPS, they didn't want to have a perk be a sub-roll passive. I completely understand that. I am kind of sad, but getting 7 additional mines with each ultimate is pretty sick, and if you're a decent ball player, you get your ultimate up pretty quickly. So I am looking forward to trying this. I am a ball main, as many of you know, so I'm going to be a much bigger pain in the ass, and I'm always down for that. Zarya's damage at high energy can be extremely high. That's a sentence. Reducing her maximum primary fire damage lowers her effectiveness in these situations while adjusting her perks to help her balance her overall power. So they decrease the primary fire maximum damage per second from 190 to 175. They removed her energy converter perk, which is the one where when you hit a secondary fire, you gained 2 energy, which is the one that was just always picked. Spotter, so they moved it from major to minor. Movement speed bonus reduced from 25 to 20%. This is the one where you put your projected barrier on a teammate and they move faster and their healing kicks in. And then energy lance, you no longer have to be above 50 energy. You could just pierce through them. I think I'm probably gonna pick the energy lance most of the time, but if I've got like a DPS that's really popping off, like a Gengu or a Vendetta or something, and they're just like really strong, I'll probably end up going with the spotter just to make sure that I keep them alive as much as possible. So I'm totally down for that. And then we got extra oomph, which is a major perk. While a barrier is active, dealing damage with a particle cannon's beam generates energy. Spylo and CarQ both showed this off. I think this is way better than the old energy converter perk. It's more consistent and it's easier to land, and I think that I think that the devs don't understand how much this is going to keep Zarya at high energy, but with her maximum damage being reduced, maybe it won't be that big of a deal. Of course, that's assuming you ever get to fucking play Zarya, because gold players ban her every game. Moving on to damage, Anran, from the playtest, her impact damage has increased from, her Fan the Flames has increased from 4 to 5. Her maximum ammo has increased from 8 to 10. So I don't know if in the playtest, like, they saw a lot of her not performing well. So this is probably just to up her damage over time. So the Inferno Rush, the maximum vertical height has been reduced by 20%, and added a hold to use Inferno Rush in the hero option. The hero option, great. Being able to use abilities to your comfort style is cool. I'm guessing right now it's on a toggle. And then they reduced the vertical height. So Spylo was saying that they actually wanted to increase the vertical height so that you can like dash up to high ground, but I guess the devs didn't like that idea. They want you to use the dash as like less of a Genji dash and more of a, I'm gonna run through all of the, I'm turning this fucking ringer off, bro. I'm about to crash out. And run through all of the enemies and stuff like that. And then Dancing Blaze, which is that little thing where she goes do and bounces between people. They have decreased the cooldown, but they removed the ability to cleanse with it, which is, I'm okay with that. I think that cleansing should be left to supports and not be anywhere else. I don't like the idea of cleansing. I mean, cleansing on Zarya Bubble's fine. So supports and tanks, I think, should have cleansing effects, but not DPS. Ashe, they removed the Sidewinder minor perk. I don't remember which one that one is, but in place, they did it where you, when you knock an enemy back with a coach gun, you briefly are allowed to use it again with 25% reduced knockback. So you coach gun you get dove by a Winston, you coach gun him away, and then you coach gun yourself up to a high ground, or you coach gun him away, and then you coach gun yourself into a different position. It's going to be very high skill ceiling perk to use, so I look forward to seeing that. Cassidy, the combat roll was reduced from 6 to 5 seconds. Coupling that with his new sub-roll passive is, you're going to be rolling so often. And then his gunslinging perk, which I don't know which one that one was removed. And now whenever he rolls, he heals 15 health for each bullet reloaded. So you so you go pop, pop, pop headshots, reduce your combat roll cooldown, roll, heal, gain 3 bullets, pop, 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 reduce your roll cooldown again, roll, heal, roll. That's so funny, dude. Cassidy gameplay is gonna be so silly, bro. Echo, movement speed bonus increase from 10 to 20% in her Forced Rush minor perk. I think that's the one that does the energy beam. When she's using it, she goes faster. That's fine. You burn down targets. Freyr, they removed the Hunter's Instinct. I don't know Freya perks very well, so I can't comment fully on this, but I know a lot of people really like this updraft, gains additional charge, but 20% reduced height. I know a lot of people like that. It gives Freya more movement, more playability in the sky, which is, you know, what makes her so annoying. So I heard Freya players liked it, so I'm gonna go with that. Hanzo, Swift Lunge minor perk removed. Dragon Fury minor perk moved from minor to major. Attack speed reduced from 25% to 20%. Duration reduced from 2 to 1.5 seconds. This is basically, I think it's when you get an I can't remember if it's an elimination or a critical hit, but basically when something happens, you get faster attack speed. That's fine. And then Frost Arrow is the new utility arrow for Hanzo, which is incredibly, it looked really, really good for setting up headshots and probably even making it to where it's easier to deal. So like Ball's biggest counter is Mei, because her primary fire instantly kills your momentum, which is very annoying. And now Hanzo can kind of do similar things, so that's kind of scary as a Ball main. So we'll have to watch out for that. Pharah, they removed the Sky Spy perk, which was what highlighted enemies when you concuss them, because now she has the sub role of revealing below half health enemies. And now after you use a movement ability, the next primary fire shoots 2 spiraling mini rockets, each dealing 40 damage, which is fine. I don't know if you're going to pick this one over the one that allows you to move while barraging, or is that a minor perk? I'm honestly, I'm not too familiar. I'd have to look at it. But this is very interesting. This is very interesting, and I do like this idea. I might have to pick Pharah and play with it a bit. Shadow Step no longer cleanses. I didn't know Shadow Step cleansed. When did they add that? I know his Wraith form cleansed. I didn't know Shadow Step cleansed. I've been gone from this game too long. Soldier 76 added using Helix rockets no longer interrupts primary fire during tactical visor, which is really good. They removed the recycled pulse munitions, which I don't know which perk that was. And they've added Helix rocket projectile speed increased by 50%, which is insanely good. It's very, very good. That is very strong. Very, very, very strong. This is probably going to be a must pick for most soldiers. Sombra is no longer detects enemies below half health. Now reveals enemy ultimate abilities on nameplates, which is really, really strong in coordinated play. That is incredibly powerful. Knowing when they have ultimates is insane. Healthy Hacker was removed. I don't know what that perk did, but now hacked health packs grant allies 25% movement speed and 50 overhealth for 4 seconds. So now this probably isn't going to happen that often, but Sombra is now perfect to work with anybody in the flanker subclass. So like, let's just say Tracer, for example. Tracer and Sombra go on the flank. They murk somebody. Sombra hacks a health pack. Sombra tells the Tracer which support has their ultimate. The Tracer either targets the one with the ultimate or the one that doesn't have the ultimate. She kills them. She takes a bit of damage. She blinks in. She gets the fucking health pack. She gets 25% movement speed, 50 more over health, and then she fucking blinks back out. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, dude. Sombra with flankers is gonna be such a pain in the fucking ass. Oh my lord. This is going to see this Sombra will see a lot more competitive play simply because of her support ability to go with like a very powerful flanker. Torb, they removed the fully loaded, which is when you did overhealth, you gained ammo back because now that's part of his kit. And now when you Molten Core, you activate overload, which is fine. It just helps you live through your ultimate. You can't fire faster. Does it fire the Molten Core faster? I don't know if you need that, to be honest. That's interesting. I don't know if I will choose this, but that is interesting. Tracer. Her pulse pistols, damage per bullet reduced from 6 to 5.75. I don't know what that effect on the breakpoints is. And then she gained the increased global projectile size by 0.04 meters. So now you're able to hit moving targets. You're able to hit your shots a little bit easier, but they do less damage. As a former Tracer main, I'm not completely mad about that. Blink distance increased by 20% for a new minor perk. I don't know how many people are going to use that because it's going to fuck with muscle memory a lot, but I'll be interested to see what high-level Tracer players do with it. I probably won't use it because I'm not good enough to use it. They removed flashback. I don't know which perk that was, but blink packs move from minor to major, and that's when you get a health pack, you restore a blink charge. Vendetta. Vendetta has a high death rate, but can still be difficult to fight against when trading effectively. Adjusting her armor and increasing Soaring Slice's cooldown encourages more deliberate engagement choices while maintaining her ability to survive in close combat. So her health was increased from 150 to 175, and her armor was reduced from 125 to 100. So she has less armor. Wait, was she a... She was a 275. Okay, so she's at the same amount of health pool. She just has less armor. So you got to think about your engagements more. They increase her Soaring Slice, which is when she throws her sword and then goes to it, I believe, to 7 seconds. So you have to think a little bit more before you dive in. Projected edge. So whenever her projectile costs 25 less energy, 25% less energy. I don't know what Relentless did, and I don't know what Swift Vengeance did, so I can't give you an opinion on these. Widowmaker, her Seeker Mine, damage increased from 50 to 75 over its duration. I think that's the one that like aims darts at people. That's fine. I don't know how much people use that. Escape Plan was removed. I don't know what it did, so I can't tell you if that's good or not. And then now Scope Shots can charge up to 124%, piercing enemies when fully charged, and that's her new major perk. I can see a lot of Widow mains picking that one because that's scary. So, Baptiste, Assault Burst, that is when you activate one of your abilities. One of your teammates gets healed for 40 HP by your shoulder turret. This is the one that I always pick, and now it's a minor perk, which... Oh, wait, no. Wait. Am I stupid? Hold on. Attack speed reduced from 25 to 20%. Now I don't know which perk this is. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Interesting. Biotic Reloader removed. That's when you hit primary, you reloaded healing, and when you hit healing, you reloaded primary. They took that out because of the sub-roll passive. For DPS, expanded field, immortality field radius is increased by 30%. This makes immortality field fucking huge, bro. This is a really good perk. It is a really good minor perk, and I can see people picking it, I guarantee you. And then automated healing major perk, move from minor to major, healing per shot, increase from 25 to 40. So this is the one I was talking about, the one I always pick. When you use an ability, your shoulder turret aims. I don't know what Assault Burst is. So that's, I don't know, but I feel like I'm going to be picking the bigger immortality field. I feel like that's what I'm going to pick. Iliari, solar rifle secondary fire, resource regeneration reduced from 43 to 35. So that's reducing her healing output, which is a big nerf to her healing output. That is... Ooh, that's really a big nerf, dude. I don't know, bro. I feel like you could have brought it down to 40 and it wouldn't have been that bad. 43 to 35 is pretty fucking insane. Cooldown increased from 7 to 8 seconds for her outburst, which means her escape tool is not as viable. You're going to be able to dive her more often and easier. That's very scary. And then Solar Flare is the one while you're healing, you press left click and then it gives a burst of healing. I'm gonna be honest with you, reducing her resource regeneration in compensation for this, nobody's fucking using it, man. Just now people might use it though, because you reduce the fucking resource regeneration. I feel like they created a problem and then solved said problem, and that's, I don't know if I like that. Kiriko, projectile speed increased from 18 to 24 on her healing of Fuda, which makes her new sub-roll passive even more powerful. Go fuck yourself, people who try to kill Kiriko. Swift step no longer cleanses her when she TPs. This looks like a pattern where you can't cleanse with movement abilities anymore. But honestly, I'm glad for that. If I poison Ikiri or I shoot her with a biotic rifle and she TPs and then she dies after the TP, I'm happy with that. Removed increased cooldown recovery buff, movement speed duration increased from 2 to 4 seconds. I think this is when she Suzu's a ally. They get movement speed and they used to get cooldown, but now they don't get cooldown. Lifeweaver. Increasing Tree of Life's overhealing conversion improves the reliability of its overhealth gain. Overhealth conversion rate from overhealing increased from 50 to 100%. That's fine. They removed life weaving. They removed cleansing grasp. They removed pedal power. Now we have pedal protection. Allies heal 20 health per second while standing on a pedal platform. Rejuvenating dash increase range by 30%. Quick melee with healing blossoms tosses a seed forward. Allies who pick it up gain 75 overhealth and 25% movement speed. This is probably the best perk in the lineup at this point, is Sow the Seed. Nobody gives a fuck about this because you don't stay on the pedal platform that long, and so you'll probably end up picking this one just so you can get away better. Lifeweaver is still one of the weakest supports in the game. I think they just don't really know what to do with his kit. He's like slightly better than Moira, but generally speaking, I just don't think they know what to do with Lifeweaver's kit at this point, and they either need to do a full rework on the man, or they need to actually sit down with like are there pro Lifeweaver players? I don't know. Mercy, with the introduction of the medic sub-roll passive, Mercy's sympathetic recovery has been replaced with swift recovery, which restores faster health regeneration. Whatever. Yeah, health regeneration begins sooner. Cool. Moira, focused healing and damage bonus increased from 25% to 30% with her Destructions Divide minor perk. I don't know what that perk does, so I can't tell you how much of a change this is. I'd have to look at it. Wu Yang continues to have a high healing alongside strong survivability and damage output. So reducing his passive healing lowers his overall sustain while preserving his healing when actively using a beam. So now it's gone from 25 to 20, and Beam healing is increased from 50 to 55. I'm gonna be so fucking real with you, man. I don't know. I feel like when I play Wu Yang, I don't get as much healing as my other support, even when I keep my stream on them constantly. Forcing me to have to fucking heal with the beam is kind of ruining the point of Wu Yang, which is to take off angles that the enemy can't see you at and shoot your ball around the corner, bend the ball around the corner. Having to stop and go to my team to right click heal them, to heal them like that much more effectively is stupid. I don't like that at all. That completely. We'll see how it does, but I feel like they're missing the point of Wu Yang, and it's very frustrating. Zenyatta, Transcendent Condemnation removed. Was that the one where it put Discord orbs on people? I don't remember. But now he gains 10% lifesteal against enemies affected by a Discord orb, which is pretty fucking insane. Then there's some stadium updates. You can now queue builds, which is great. Smart build recommendations, bundle recommendations, counter item suggestions. This is all good. Here is the thing with all these in Stadium. I don't know shit about Stadium. So I'm not going to read all of this because I can't give an opinion on it, but I'll leave it all linked in the description down below because like I cannot give you an opinion on anything in Stadium. Then they did a bunch of bug fixes, which is cool, which is great. But yeah, that's everything except the Stadium changes because I don't know shit about Stadium and I don't want to read something that I can't give you a full thing on. Thank you guys so much for watching the video and getting all that. And thank you to my channel members for giving me a couple extra bucks a month. If you want to find out how to support me through the channel membership, then go ahead and click that join button down below. And as always, I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one.